Visual art has been around almost as long as humans have. From the cave paintings of the hunter-gatherers to the famous masterpieces of the Renaissance, art is always changing and evolving. Let's take a look at 6 artists from the past 100 years that have changed the way art is made, understood, and valued. Untitled, 1950 by Mark Rothko. Abstract expressionism is a form of art in which lines, shapes, and colours are used to express the feelings of the artist. Abstract expressionist Rothko is famous for artworks which use simple coloured rectangles to create different moods and emotions. He thought drawing was too academic and believed that all artists should start with colour like children do. Many of Rothko's paintings are huge in size. They are intended to make the viewer feel overwhelmed. Reflection of the Big Dipper by Jackson Pollock. Pollock was also an abstract expressionist. He spread huge canvases on the floor and used household objects to drip paint onto them. His work shocked people. He was described by art critics as both the greatest living painter and a joke in bad taste. Gold Marilyn Monroe by Andy Warhol. Warhol was part of an art movement called pop art. He viewed art as a product like any other. Some of his artworks show everyday objects such as soup cans and Coke bottles. Others are images of celebrities. Warhol's screen prints of the actress Marilyn Monroe use bright colours and visual effects to reflect her personality. Balloon Dog, Magenta by Jeff Koons. Jeff Koons is also interested in art and popular culture, just as Warhol was. His famous balloon sculptures are not made of balloons, and they were not actually made by Koons. He paid assistants to turn his ideas into art using stainless steel. One of his huge balloon dogs sold for $58.4 million at an auction in 2013. This was the most expensive work by a living artist ever sold at auction. Koons' work has also received mixed reviews from critics. It has been described as both an eye-popping visual blast and as artificial and cheap. Yellow Lines Flower Painter by Banksy. Banksy's graffiti art pops up unexpectedly in public places, and no one knows for sure who he or she is. Banksy claims to use stenciling as it allows the artwork to be completed quickly. This is necessary to avoid being caught. Banksy loves to challenge the art establishment. In this quirky image, the sunflower appears to have been painted by a street worker, who himself is part of the image. Genius or vandal? Banksy has been called both. Tutto Mundo by Keith Haring. Haring first became popular for his chalk drawings in New York City subways in the 1980s. He then set up a pop shop where he sold his art cheaply so that everyone could afford it. This image is part of a huge painting on a church wall in Italy, which he dedicated to peace. Described as the artist of happiness, he was often arrested for vandalism while painting. Critics often disagree on whether the works by these artists are good or bad art. What do you think of the artwork in this poster?